Good morning, Ms. Jamison.
Good morning, Ms. Hicks.
Well, my name is Cassie Hicks, as you probably already know, but I'm the president and CEO of the company, and I want to welcome you to this interview on this morning.
Thank you so much for inviting me to come.
Yes. What I want to do is to kind of go through your resume and let you talk me through what I'm reading on the paper, giving me a little bit more detail about your experiences in the position that you have.
Of course, I'd be glad to.
Okay. So in your work experience, I see a lot of good things in here as far as the match for what we're looking for in our office manager, administrative assistants. And so what I wanted to just kind of let you talk to me about in your objective, it talks about you want to provide competent productivity in a work environment. So to me, that may mean a couple things. So go ahead and let me know what your definition of competent means.
Yes, ma'am. I believe that being competent has more to do with a person's ability and understanding their own limitations and the areas in which they excel. But being competent and working through whatever the issues are, creating situations that will allow a person to excel and thereby causing the company to excel. So competent has a lot to do with a person knowing where their strengths and their weaknesses are. And I believe that I have that.
What would you consider your strengths to be?
One of my strengths would be my ability to create systems that help to catapult, so to speak, whatever my task is on the next level. One of my weaknesses, certainly, I will add that, is that I really probably care more than I should, and that causes me to be kind of off balance at times. But more so, really, I think that my strengths outweigh those weaknesses because I really want to do a job that's well done.
Okay. Well, I think that weaknesses will fit in well with what we do here at our company because we love to have a family environment. So there are people that care about our company, so that fits well within that realm. I'm looking at your resume as well, and it talks about the different computer skills that you have somewhat. My question to you, to be more specific about, is your spreadsheet ability. Spreadsheet levels can be just creating a spreadsheet or maintaining a spreadsheet. Talk to me a little bit more about the detail that you can do in a spreadsheet, possibly through systems like Microsoft Excel.
Certainly. I'm pretty proficient, I'd like to think, in Excel. I have worked extensively with that particular program in the law firm that I've worked with, both those, as well as in my other endeavors. And I've used it as far as creating spreadsheets, the formulas, maintaining spreadsheets, and creating them to the point that I'm able to send them across the country to parts of our consortium that captures our costs. We would do cumulative spreadsheets that would capture everything from the beginning until all the hours that our attorneys at the firm that I worked with, all that our attorneys use, and give them the details that they need. And so it's something that I think that I've got a pretty good grip on and being able to utilize successfully.
Okay. Ms. Jamison, could you talk to me a little bit more about, I want to know what type of management style you are accustomed to or what you prefer in a working environment.
I really like being able for someone to give me the information that I need and allow me the opportunity to just kind of explore that thing. I don't really want to or need to be micromanaged. I think that can be a real deficit for any company if the supervisor or manager has to be involved in every detail. Otherwise, you wouldn't need the staff to accomplish that. I like to be given the information, given the task, and whatever the parameters are, the deadlines, and then given the opportunity to fulfill that. I believe that I can do that. I've done that successfully for about 15 years for our company. It's a multi-million-dollar firm. We've accomplished a lot, and I think that I've been a key component to accomplishing that. So typically they give me what I need to do, and I create a system that helps me to accomplish that within that time frame, and of course securing our staff to help us to get that done as well. I don't believe that one person is an island. I do think that it takes everybody on board to get things accomplished.
Okay. So it sounds like you're very comfortable running an office, whether it's going to be with limited to no management oversight.
Absolutely, absolutely. I try to make sure that when you're leading, you have to have someone to follow you. Otherwise, you're not really a leader. But if it requires just my attention, then of course I'm able to do that. But I like being able to include other people because then they feel their value and their work as a part of that company. And so whether it is solely me or whether it is a team effort, I believe that I can accomplish both of those.
Okay. As I look in your resume, I'm looking to see what your organizational skills would be, your computer skills we talked about already, and interpersonal skills to our company is so important, so key because with the competitive environment that we're in, you're talking to consumers and customers that may be individuals or companies. And so, talk to me a little bit more about interpersonal skills and your relating to customer service.
Absolutely. We didn't have vendors per se, but we did have some vendors who were just supplied certain things to us. But we also I interacted a lot with the judge's offices, with defense counsel, with other plaintiffs' firms, and also with our clients. I think that you have to maintain an open, so to speak, communication with your client so that they'll know. Even though some of our clients would call and think that you should just know their voice, some of them we did, some not so much. But we were always maintaining professionalism so that they would know that their case mattered to us. And I think that is something, it's like customer service. I think that's a missing ingredient in a lot of areas, but I believe that having good customer service, capable customer service will allow people who interact with Hicks Construction to see that your staff, whether they're dealing directly with you, the CEO, or with your staff, that they're just as important to what we're doing, and what they're trying to do is as important to us as well.
Okay. As we wind down this interview on today, I see you've got references developed upon request. I want you to think about one reference that you would possibly put down, and if I was to call that reference person, what would they tell me about your work ethics and professionalism?
Well, I think that if you called any of my references, I'd like to think they would all say that Edna has one of the strongest work ethics of anyone that I've ever seen. They will say that she works long hours, she works hard, she gives 150% or whatever is required to accomplish a job. She's always straightforward, she's always forward thinking, and that doing a good job is always at the forefront of her mind. And they would probably say that they hate they lost me and wish they could get me back, I'd like to think. But yeah, I think that they would all say something very positive about my work ethic and about my ability to get things done.
Okay, sounds great. Let me talk to you about our next steps in the process. Our next steps is to interview a few more people. Our intent is to have someone in place by the first of the month. That gives us about a week to kind of review the applications, possibly call some references. We may do a second interview. When we do the second interview, we'll talk more about salary and more about our expectations with the company. But for today, if there are any other questions that you may have.
No, ma'am, I don't think that I have any other questions. I'm just looking forward to hearing from you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You as well.